What's up guys, it's Tom here and welcome to a very interesting football video where we will talk about the prospect of the Premier League games getting played behind closed doors, or even the Premier League could be suspended until further notice. I think it could delay Liverpool winning the Premier League title and us fans seeing Liverpool winning the Premier League title. So that's a very serious situation. I want to hear your opinion on what do you think about the Premier League. Should they play the games behind closed doors like Italy have done for a few weeks now? But now, today it was announced that the Serie A is postponing all Serie A games until like the beginning of April the 3rd, which is huge and it's unprecedented, I think, in Western Europe. And certainly this disease, the coronavirus, I'm not a medical expert, but I read a lot on the situation, and I used to be a chemist at university. I'm a little bit scientifically driven in how I use my knowledge and how I analyze the articles and the data. And from the first get-go, when I learned about this virus, I was very worried because there is no cure, and the fastest that we could get a vaccine could be 12 to 18 months, and even that could be a world record. And this is a highly dangerous and very deadly disease, so I think everybody should take it very seriously and be like alert but don't panic. Be calm and cautious but very alert. So read up on all the medical advice that you need, how to be the most safest that you can be. And I think sooner or later football will be played behind closed doors in the Premier League as well. That looks like it's almost inevitable, because the La Liga also announced that they will play the next two round of fixtures. So for the next 2 weeks at least, La Liga will play behind closed doors, so no fans allowed in the first and second division. Also in France, I think all games you can have only 1,000 fans in the stadium, so they can be distanced between each other. And also, for example, in the Champions League, Paris Saint-Germain Dortmund game, the Bayern Munich Chelsea game, Valencia Atalanta game will all be played behind closed doors. Basically, this week I think only the Leipzig Tottenham and the Liverpool Atletico game will be played in front of fans. And also I even heard some Italian journalists talking about the Champions League being postponed after these rounds, second leg of fixtures are completed, which is a very scary situation. Jurgen Klopp said this about the prospect of Liverpool games being played behind closed doors, which I think would be absolute heartbreaking for Liverpool fans. Can you imagine? Liverpool fans wait 30 years to witness Liverpool lifting the first league title. Some fans haven't seen that. Me included, I haven't seen that. Yes, we probably can watch it on the television, but some Liverpool fans who are season ticket holders waited all their lives to witness at Anfield or at whatever ground it will be, where Liverpool mathematically confirm winning the title, which could be in just 1 or 2 weeks. So it's really unfortunate timing that the Premier League could be played behind closed doors as early as maybe from next weekend. It would be really heartbreaking and devastating if Liverpool fans had to watch just from the television and there would be no fans when Liverpool officially won the league. That would be heartbreaking, but human life and society comes before everyone else and everything else, and before football. So I think the Premier League title winning parade could be delayed until the summer or whatever, when it will be medically safer for large crowds together. I'm sure that Liverpool fans would go out onto the streets and celebrate when Liverpool officially win the title, but at least it won't be like 1 million people flocking to Liverpool. And even some of my friends here in Hungary, before this virus outbreak happened, we were discussing the prospect of booking a plane ticket and going to Liverpool to actually celebrate the first title of our lifetime. So that's how serious this is, in my opinion, that many Liverpool fans would want to be there. But I think it will be delayed. It's almost inevitable now. Not sure about the Premier League being either postponed or played behind closed doors. I think it will be most likely played behind closed doors, and very serious, very strict rules will be implemented. But let's also hear what Jurgen Klopp had to say about the prospect of matches being played behind closed doors. Whatever will be decided, we will respect. It's clear that we will accept that, but I don't know how much sense it will make in this moment. We need time to find a solution. How can we get that time and avoid different situations? I don't know enough about how much closing stadiums for the football games could help. The problem is, if you are not in the stadium, then you are in close rooms and watching it maybe together. I'm not sure what is better in this case. And I mean that. It's not about me as a manager, it's about being a human being. Some things are more important than football, and we realize that in this moment we all have families, friends, kids, parents who we want to be well. There was a very interesting moment in the press conference. I highly recommend you guys watching the pre-Atletico Madrid press conference, which is up on the Liverpool's official YouTube page, where there was a journalist who was traveling from Madrid to the UK to report on the game. He's a journalist from Argentina, but he's a Madrid-based reporter. He asked Jurgen Klopp if he was worried about his players getting infected by this virus, and Jurgen Klopp was very angry and furious in his answer. This is what he said: "Are you from Madrid? Are you concerned in your city? Playing football is not special, it is just a game. We are not the society, we are a part of it, and we should all be worried at the same time." That's exactly the thing I don't like. You sit there and ask this, but you fly from Madrid to here. They are closing schools and only universities, and you are obviously concerned. And that is the question. You think now football is worth traveling for? It is our common problem and we cannot sort it with football. We play football, that is our part, what we have to do. Your job is to transport information, and I hope you do it better than you ask questions. Oh wow, Jurgen Klopp really went in there. I really rate Jurgen Klopp so highly. He's such a great human being. And when he needs to be serious, he can be very serious. You always love seeing Jurgen Klopp joking and laughing, but I love it that Jurgen Klopp, when he needs to put his foot down, he does it, and he does it very respectfully, but very strictly, and I love that about him. He has very clear morals and values, and that's how you should lead your life, in my opinion. And also Jurgen Klopp continued: "It really gets me angry when you ask me a question and suggest that I have a problem that you don't have. We have all the same problem. You talk to people every day, to people from close range, which I don't do. So are you worried? The players at the moment are all healthy. What we do with not shaking hands is we set a sign for society. Not because the players are more at risk. It's good for you and it is good for me not to shake hands in this moment. It's a sign for society, for everyone. Are we all not in the same boat?" And after that, Jurgen Klopp just stormed out of the press conference. So what do you think about that reaction? I think it's very interesting, and it shows that Jurgen Klopp is very angry that he keeps getting asked these questions about coronavirus. Of course, he's not a medical expert. Jurgen Klopp already said that it's not what famous people say what is important about this coronavirus. I think the medical experts and the scientists should be the ones who are constantly interviewed on the television, on the media. But that's the weird thing about today's society, that we don't really value, like most people don't really value the scientists, the experts' opinion, because it's boring. On the other hand, we listen to politicians, we listen to celebrities, to football players, to musicians, to... I'm no disrespect, but I think in this case you should really listen to the medical advice of professional scientists, medical experts who are experts in this field, because listening to people who don't really know what they are talking about, who don't really know in detail about this virus, is very dangerous. And I think Pep Guardiola also very interesting what he said, that he wants games to be postponed instead of being played behind closed doors. So Pep Guardiola says that he believes that Premier League games will be played behind closed doors this season due to the concerns surrounding the coronavirus outbreak. He said it's already happened in Italy, in Spain, and I think it's going to happen here. We have to ask, is it worth playing football without the spectators? We do our job for the people. If the people cannot come to watch the games, there is no sense. We are going to follow the instructions from the governments. Everybody all around the world is involved in that, and we will just follow what we have to do. But I think if you postpone too many games, you risk not finishing the season, because this virus doesn't have a cure. It won't have a cure for the next one and a half years. And we can only hope that in the summer, warmer months, it will maybe go down a little, but it won't disappear anytime soon. So postponing Premier League games, it only should be done if the medical experts think that it will 100% be the right decision and it will protect the players basically from getting infected. If postponing the games doesn't do that, I think they should just play it behind closed doors, because the Premier League season need to be completed. I mean, how sad would it be if you just had to stop playing football between now and until the virus is completely eradicated, because then, I mean, millions, probably billions who watch football would be without entertainment. But of course, that's not as important as getting people healthy again. So I would, of course, respect whatever decision is made, but it's a very, very interesting debate. It's a very interesting decision for the authorities to make. This is now a crazy time to be in football, because, for example, the owner of Greek club Olympiacos has announced that he was diagnosed with the coronavirus, and of course Wolves play Olympiacos in the Europa League. So now Wolves manager Nuno Espirito Santo says that the game should be postponed and maybe even scrapped altogether. I mean, Wolves are leading 4-0 against Olympiacos, so I can't see a way for Olympiacos to knock Wolves out. So that's basically a meaningless game, and you can probably scrap it. I'm not sure if a postponement is the right decision, because when would you play it? The football calendar is so tight. You have to make a decision here or there. I would just play it behind closed doors, and of course the owner of the Greek club is already in quarantine, but I apologize if I mispronounced that word. The English is not my first language, but I tried my best, and I think that of course the owner and anybody who came into contact with the owner should not be at the game. But it's very difficult. What if the owner shook hands with all the players? Then the whole Olympiacos team should go into quarantine probably, and I'm not sure if they will do that or not. It should be mandatory, but I don't know the real rules in Greece about that. Nuno Espirito Santo said this about the situation: I understand the decision to play behind closed doors, but what is the point of football? It doesn't make sense to play behind closed doors. This is more than football. This is a social situation. Everybody is worried. Something has to be done. Close the doors in stadiums is not a solution. It's not normal. We are pretending to lead a normal life when things are not normal. Is there another solution for it? Why not stop? And also, Nuno Espirito Santo was asked whether he would refuse to attend Premier League games if they are played behind closed doors or if they are postponed, and he said, we have all obligations. I'm an employee. If we have to go to the game, and then we will go to the game. We are not happy to go. Olympiacos are suffering their own problems. It's time to think, is there another option? Can we stop? This will eventually happen in the Premier League. Let's think about it. We are living with fear. If we have to go then as a club, then we have to come back. Me as a parent, should I go there if I didn't have the obligation of my job? It's bigger than football. It's social, it's society. So Nuno Espirito Santo brings up very interesting moral questions as well. He as a parent doesn't want to endanger his children, himself, his wife, his parents. That's of course the worry. You shouldn't be only worrying about yourselves. I mean, this virus is not very deadly to people who are younger than 60 years old, judging by the statistics. But I mean, I have a grandfather who is 90 years old. My parents are over 60 years old, and I'm really worried about them. What if they get this virus? What would happen if they got into intensive care at a later stage when the hospitals are already full? I mean, Italy shut down. Their whole country are in lockdown. Schools, universities, everything is cancelled, everything is shut down, apart from some work and some companies who can't really shut down because society has to function. And it's a very serious situation, and they did that because already in 2.5 weeks they got the intensive care units in hospitals completely full. There are no more space in beds, and there are no more equipments to go to this very serious patients. Just a few points if you don't know already how dangerous this virus is. So this virus can on average infect 3 or maybe even 4 people, which means that every single person infects on average 3 or 4 people. And also the incubation period, so the period where somebody who has the virus and who is infecting others doesn't show any symptoms, can be up to 2 or 3 weeks. That is 14 to 20 days. The longest was, I think, 28 days, the incubation period. The average is like 5 to 7 days, something like that. But still, that's an awful long time between you not showing any symptoms and not getting sick, but going about your business as usual and infecting everybody else. It's very dangerous and very worrying as well, because there is no cure, there is no vaccine, there is no treatment so far that is effective in this case of the virus. And also, for example, let's take Italy. They already have more than 10,000 coronavirus cases, and they only are testing the most severe ones because the hospitals are already full, the intensive care units are already almost full, and half of the 10,000 patients require hospitalization. The death rate so far, even though cases are still coming in, and the average is like 3 to 6 weeks. The average hospital stay for a coronavirus patient is minimum 3 weeks, but it can be up to 6 weeks until you can leave the hospital. So that is a very long time until some people recover and get out from the hospital, so somebody else can get their bed and can get treatment. So that's the main problem with this virus, that it has a very long incubation period, as I said, and also half of the people getting the very sick require hospitalization. Some of them even require machines to help them breathing, because one of the major symptoms is severe pneumonia, where you can't really breathe properly, which is very serious. 6% death rate from the serious cases in Italy is a very high, in my opinion. And imagine, this is just in 2.5 weeks. Like 17-18 days ago, Italy had like 3 cases, and now they have 10,000. And just imagine another 20 days and they could have 60,000 or 100,000 if it's not contained or slowed down. The main reason why you need social distancing is that the disease can be slowed down, so we can slow the spread of the virus, and then hospitals and the whole healthcare system, which is not designed for a virus like this. The Western world, USA, North America, Europe, didn't have a virus like this for 100 years. The last time a very serious virus hit Europe was in 1918, the famous Spanish flu, which killed around 17 to 20 million people, and I think almost like 700 million people was infected. But that was a long time ago. Most people weren't even alive who are alive right now. I mean, like 99.9% probably. So the Western world, and like Europe included, they are not ready for this, and we as a society are not ready for this. So we have to slow the spread so the hospitals can actually keep up with the demand of intensive care units, of hospital beds, of equipment. And I urge you guys to read up on the disease and how you can really be the safest that you can be. For us gamers, it's not a big problem to stay indoors and just play video games all day. Maybe that's what you should do if you can do it, if you don't have to go to work, if you have to go to school, of course go to school until it's shut down. But after it's shut down, my suggestion is just to just stay at home and try to be as safe as possible. Wash your hands many times, and just keep the distance from the people, also your elderly people in your family. They should be only seen by like one person, and they should get the groceries delivered, and make them just stay at home as much as possible and only go out of the house if it's absolutely necessary. That's my suggestion and advice, but of course listen to the medical experts as well and what they are trying to say. And Nuno Espirito Santo also said this: I wouldn't like playing behind closed doors, honestly. The main purpose of football is the fans. What about the fans? I agree with the decisions being made because it's to try and prevent the spread of the virus. But what about the those fans who, for example, spent £2,000 on hotels and trips to come with us to Olympiacos? They want to go and celebrate with the club in the Europa League, but on his own life the impact is huge, and it's a very difficult situation. I already saw I think a guy from UK who already had a plane ticket and a hotel booked and tickets bought to the Borussia Dortmund Schalke match, which is a Ruhr derby. It's a big derby in Germany, and that was announced, and that it will be played behind closed doors. Most of the Bundesliga games will be played behind closed doors for the foreseeable future as well. So that it's a very serious situation, and I mean, who knows when this will end? Who knows if Euro 2020 will be held? I'm really worried about that as well, because one of the cities hosting the Euros is Budapest. I live, no joke, 3 kilometers from the stadium, which is nothing in a city where 2 million people live in Budapest, and I live in the same district as the host stadium hosting the Euro 2020 tournament, and I would love to go to some games, but I'm not sure now if I should even try getting tickets, because the games might be played behind closed doors, or they might even be like scrapping the whole tournament. Who knows how this virus will develop in this up until the summer. So it's a very interesting and very serious situation, and I tried to give a lot of information in this video. Of course, listen to the medical experts and always do your research and be as vigilant, as alert as you can be without panicking, and I think that's the safest way that you can do. What we did with my girlfriend is we only go out of the house when it's absolutely necessary. My girlfriend at the moment is not working. She's still going to school where he's learning programming and website development. So I take her to the school every time that she needs to go by car, and we try to limit going on public transport as much as possible. We only go to grocery shopping when we run out of everything, and we already did a major shopping spree, and we haven't been grocery shopping for the past like 2 weeks. We will only go when we run out of supplies, and then we'll do a big shopping spree as well, again, as just to limit the times where you need to go grocery shopping. So that's how we implement changes into our life, and we only go and visit family when it's absolutely necessary, but we might cut down on that as well in the near future. Hungary at the moment, at the time of making this video, only has 12 like confirmed coronavirus patients, but we only did like 600 tests in a country where 9.7 million people live. That's way too few tests being done. So who knows, we could have thousands of cases and we don't even know it, and the people are running around all the time. Still, life as I can see it is still going on as normal in Hungary, which I don't really like. I think there should be some limitations to concerts, gatherings, sports events, but at the moment our government still didn't make any like big impactful changes, but they are coming. I can feel it. I mean, Italy is very close to Hungary, just a 3 or 4 hour car ride, and I'm sure that many Hungarians were in the infected area previously. So it's a very interesting situation. I just wanted to give you an overview of the situation. Let me know what you think about this whole like coronavirus situation and how it will impact football in the near future. And the Western society might not be the same after the virus, because this will have serious implications, not just to the world economy, but I think to many healthcare systems, because many healthcare systems holes and failures will be massively highlighted, and it really makes me sad and it breaks my heart that probably many people will die because of this virus, and also because of the healthcare system not being ready for a pandemic like this. China, South Korea, for example, they reacted in a much like more alert way, because their society is used to coronavirus outbreak. I mean, China had the SARS outbreak in the last 20 years. South Korea had the MERS outbreak, which is a different types of coronavirus outbreaks. So those societies are more used to how you need to behave in a situation like this, while the Western world, North America, Europe, are not really used to this. And we need to get used to this, because this could happen every 10-20 years. Who knows, a new virus could pop up at any moment. This happened and it could happen again, so we need to really change some of our behavior. That's my opinion. But of course, let me know what is your opinion as well in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. See you later. Goodbye.